Hey, it's Al Bain for Leather, and I'd like to take a moment and talk to you about the typical tension device on a Cobra Class 26 sewing machine. Okay, so let's talk about the anatomy of this component right here. What you see is there's a bolt going down the center of the shaft with a little nut. So as we turn the nut, it compresses this spring, which in turn compresses these two washers. The washers are what create the tension as the thread is passing through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you with this big, nasty, ugly red thread how to put it in there. So this is like a 346. We would never operate this thread, but because it's a nice contrasting color and you can easily see how it's resting in the top between the two tension discs, and we pull it in all the way to the center. Okay, so this is the idea of how these discs work. Basically, they're pinching because of the spring pressure here. Okay, and the more spring pressure, the more friction that's on the thread, creating more tension or less tension, depending on how you've adjusted the knob. Okay, so now that we understand more or less how that works, let's just look at the components and their anatomy. So I'm going to loosen this knob until it comes off. But what I don't want to do is allow the spring to pop off and go flying across the shop. So I'm just going to hold it with my finger and loosen the knob, okay, until it comes off. And you see this little washer? I don't want that to get lost, so I'm just going to notice that it's there, loosen the knob, and at one point or another it's going to come apart and come off into my hand. Okay, so now I'm just releasing the pressure off that spring, and there's the knob. It's got little teeth on it. And then it mates with the washer that's right behind it that has teeth, and that's what gives it that little clicking sensation as you're turning it. So I'm going to put it right here on the table. I'm going to set it there, and then all the parts, as they come off the machine, I'm going to take them off. So here's the washer. It's a T-washer. So it's going to locate inside that split on the bolt. Can you see how that's going in and out there? Okay. So then there's number 2 going into the collection here. I'm going to put them down in order. Okay, so here's the spring. It's known as a beehive spring, but see, it's got a little wire that goes down the center of the split bolt. You see how that goes? And now it's number 3 in the list. Okay, and here's the anti-spin washer. So this washer has got a little cutout, and there's a pin right there that it rests into, along with the T-shaped slot. So again, that slides down the bolt and then aligns with the pin. Okay, and it's number 4 in our list, see? Okay, now here's friction disc number 1 coming off, and if you notice, it's concave on this side, or convex on the other side, and the other washer is in the reverse order. So both of them have a funnel shape at the opening so that the thread will fall in there. So now this guy gets to be number 5. Okay, and wow, look at that dirty lint and yuck and all that stuff. So I'm glad we're cleaning this at the same time. This has the same slot as the other one, and it all rests over that pin. Okay, there it is in the order that it comes off. And then if you can see very carefully, in between the slot, there's a pin right there. Can you show that pin? See that little pin? That pin moves in and out as you activate the presser foot lift. So I'm trying to make it go in. Well, it doesn't have enough tension on it, but that is what relieves the pressure on the thread tension device when you raise the feet. Okay, so now check out the anatomy of the friction disc. See, it's got that little bevel. So the first one's got to go back on the same way it came off, with the bevel going away and over that pin. Okay, so let's use our big contrasting thread to show you how it would ride inside there and over the pin. Just right here. Okay. So that's how it looks on the inside of the system once it's all assembled and threaded. Okay, so the second washer with the bevel the other way, and then look right in here. and you see how they funnel away. Now the anti-spin washer, I should be cleaning this as I'm doing this, but I guess I'll use my skin as a cleaner. Okay, and it's going to slide with that split bar and then that groove over the pin. Now our beehive spring, same thing, it's got that one wire, so it's going through the split bolt. Now here's our T washer. Remember that the little serrations need to be on the outside. And then our nut, the serrations toward the inside. And we get it back in its original position. So there's the anatomy of the basic thread tension device. Hope this information helps you in the future, just understanding the way the system works. We only have one thing we ask. Please pay it forward.